I was leaving my neighborhood yesterday, I think it was. You know how everything's just a blur. I was leaving my neighborhood. Not even, I was in the middle of my neighborhood and I hit a stop sign. And then up comes this kid who, honestly, 10 years old, 12 years old at most. Probably 10 years old. I don't know. And the kid has a helmet on, but is riding an e bike. And the e bike's like a little motorcycle. You've seen these, I've seen these. I'm not feigning that I'm outraged. I'm telling you, this freaking kid's going to get killed on the roads. And I want to get into this in a second before I get into my monologue. Also, there is a baby named Baby Gabriel who is, her and her mom are seeking refuge from the paternal, I should say, the surrogate parents that want to abort the baby. That's a big fight that you're about to hear about from me, and it'll blow up big time in our news here in Texas where I'm sitting. Also, the just sick state of Massachusetts signing a 34-week abortion bill and cheering it on. What does a 34-week-old baby look like who is out of the uterus and is alive? I will show you. Muslims, this is great. An article or a column in the Dallas Morning News editorial board today from them says that Sharia law is not happening. It's not real. I'm going to show you a video from 10 months ago, roughly, of Islamic people, an imam actually, in Houston, literally enforcing Sharia law, like vocally, like unequivocally. And we'll also juxtapose that with the Dallas Morning News telling you there's no such thing as Sharia law being enforced in America. It is, in Texas, let alone Texas. WNBA, all the stuff on WNBA, and a couple other things that are fun, interesting, and different. I'll cover the socialists in Wisconsin and in Abdul Rahman Mohammed El Sayed. Shake Shack. You better watch out. If you don't tip at Shake Shack, you might get a upcharge. You'll see the video yourself. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. But first, this show is brought to you by IRSprob.com, IRSPROB.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategy. Randy Martin's been my CPA for like 10 years now, and he's just the best, and I'm so grateful for him and his team, and that's what we have for you there. Now, Frisco, well, let me go back to the story in my neighborhood first, because that's like where it all started for me. Then we go to Frisco, who has a big problem with these e-bikes, e-scooters at school, as school has begun. So I've seen kids on e-bikes or scooters maybe on the sidewalk here or there, but I have never seen a little tiny child. Now, granted, he's probably 12, maybe 10, I don't know. But he's not a man, and he's not a 16-year-old or 18-year-old who has a license. A little tiny child on an bike, like a little dirt bike looking e-bike, at a stop sign, stopping and looking at me and people at my four-way stop sign by my house. Now, I am not going to mistreat some kid. I'm not going to be one of those guys who yelled or screamed at you or me when we were kids growing up and was some mean old codger jerkety jerk. But I just stopped in the middle of the intersection and looked at him. Okay, so I'm like this in my car, and I'm going left. He's right here on the left. Okay, so I pull in the intersection, and I look at him, and I just kind of stop. And I say, get off the road now. It's illegal, and you're going to get hurt. And then he said something. I don't know what it was. It didn't seem like it was nasty or rude. He was like, well, da, da, da. But I couldn't tell because he had his helmet on. But I heard something, and it wasn't nasty, so that's good. Get the hell off. Get your kid. What are you doing allowing your kid to be on a freaking road where people can get killed? Do you know the overwhelming majority of accidents happen within a mile or two of your house? Do not believe me, Google it. The overwhelming majority of accidents that we have in our lives with cars are within a mile or two or three of our houses. That is it. Because that's where we are 9 times out of 10 all the time, going in and going out. This freaking kid is going to get run over and killed. He has no protection. I say a tiny little kid because if you see a 2,000 or 3,000 pound vehicle one of these EVs that are 4,000 to 6,000 pounds or 8,000 pounds, run over this freaking kid or come to a collision with this kid, you're going to see a tiny little child next to a big piece of machinery crushed to death. And then, what gets me mad is, do you know what it's like? I don't, but I've read about it, being a news talk guy for years in radio and media, I imbibe tons of news, right? That's my job. I've seen so many times what it's like for people to have to live with running somebody over, hitting them and killing them by accident, no fault of their own, any kind of a death that is not their fault but somebody else's fault, to live with that, to live with the sound of it for the rest of your life in your head. I am so pissed off at parents that would allow their freaking minor children to have these things. And why do I say this? Because today in Fox 4 News, quote, Frisco ISD, suburban Dallas-Fort Worth, bans e-scooters, bikes, e-bikes after a rash of student incidents. This is not a rash of student incidents. This is a rash of stupid parents who won't say no to their kids. And I'm going to go into what Frisco law is on this for whether your kid can legally even ride an e-bike or e-scooter, because there's specific laws on that. And I'm going to bet you a lot of our suburbs and cities have the similar laws. If they don't, they should. So, the new ban from Frisco ISD on all e-bikes and e-scooters. The ban comes as Frisco police have dealt with several incidents related to students riding e-bikes or e-scooters, including children as young as 10 riding them on public roads. I want to strangle a parent. You're letting your 10-year-old kid go out on something they can get killed on, or they could, hit a rock or hit a little bump or something, and then go under and then snap their arm and break it, or God forbid worse, or go in front of a car and die. You're letting a 10-year-old who doesn't know the rules of the road, doesn't have a driver license, interact with me on our roads. Are you kidding me? What kind of a parent would do that to their own child? Quote, for adults and licensed minors, here's the law in Frisco. For adults and licensed minors, motor-assisted scooters are banned in parks, sidewalks, and on any road with a speed limit of 35 or older. This is for adults and licensed minors, meaning you're a minor, but you have a driver license. If you don't have a driver license, you cannot be riding any of these things unless, if you're under the 18 and not licensed, you may not operate a motor-assisted scooter on any public way or any public property. A child may only ride on paths and trails set aside for the exclusive operation of bicycles and must wear a helmet. Parents can be held responsible. This is what I love. Go after the parents. Parents can be held responsible for allowing or permitting a child or licensed minor to operate or ride a motor-assisted scooter in violation of city ordinance. It's a Class C misdemeanor, punishable up to $500. Nail those frickin' parents. What's wrong with you? How could you put your child at risk like this? And why can't you say no? What's wrong with you, Mom and Dad? What's wrong with you? It reminds me when my kids, we've been in this house now for we're approaching 12 years. And before that, we had a rental house, because in radio, TV, the first couple of years you don't buy, you rent, because you don't know if it'll work out. Thankfully for me, I had 15 straight years with the same employer. But I think about when we were at our rental house and my kids were, I missed them very much when they were so tiny, right? 4 and 10 or whatever, 4 and 7, 3 and 7. And there was a kid who was like the first kid on the block to have a cell phone, and he was like, 8. And I'm like, his parents gave him a freaking iPhone. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? I mean, what is wrong with it? And they had an iPhone hanging off their necklace on their. I'm like, what the gosh? What is with these parents? It's up to you. I want to show you what a 34-week-old baby looks like, because in Massachusetts, you can now kill an unborn baby at 34 weeks of age. You can abort the unborn baby at 34 weeks of age. The only difference is the child's location. Here's what the child that they applauded for after Maura Healey, the Democrat governor of Massachusetts, signed it into law, and they cheered that you could kill a baby, you could abort a baby at 34 weeks old. This is what a 34-week-old baby looks like out of the uterus. Let's just look at that for a second. Well, I'll keep playing. It's too short. This is a 34-week-old baby. Look at how pretty that little boy or girl is. Look at that little hand holding onto the index finger. Little purple hand squeezing. Look at those eyes. Those eyes are filled with life. It's a child. That's a baby. Massachusetts and its governor, the Democrats clapped when she signed into law that you can kill a baby that looks like that. And the only difference is the location. In a uterus or out of a uterus. It's I can't even be mad. It just breaks my heart. It's so sad. It makes me want to cry almost. Let's play it again. This is a 34-week-old baby, which can now be killed in utero. When it's out of the uterus, a 34-week-old baby looks like this. So beautiful. I'm going to play it again. Sorry, but I got it one more time. My gosh. The innocence, the life, the eyes, the lips. Think that somebody could kill that poor little baby. Oh my gosh. Woo! I got goosebumps to the umpteenth. Texas intervenes. This is from Texas Scorecard. Texas intervenes to protect unborn baby with heart defect. I'm going to give you the backstory real fast on this. There is a woman who agreed to have a baby for a couple. I don't know if they couldn't conceive or they just want to pay her to have the baby, with their egg and sperm. And so everything was fine. But then when the 20-week ultrasound happened, this woman, an Alaskan nurse and single mother who needed the money to help raise her kids, agreed to be a surrogate for a California couple. When the 20-week ultrasound came in, they were told that little baby Gabriel was diagnosed with hydroplastic left heart syndrome, HLHS. She researched it as a nurse, and she said the condition she found out after the diagnosis and discovered that Children's Medical Center of Dallas, some 12, 13 miles from where I'm sitting, is known for its 100% success rate in recent years with a procedure called the Norwood procedure. 100% success rate. But this family from California said, no, you kill that baby. I'm the father, I'm the mother, you're just a host, and we want you to kill the baby, abort the baby. So she has fled to Texas, where she is right now, and is going to Children's Medical Center to get this 100% success rate surgery done. It comes in 3 stages, like a 3-stage surgery of some kind. And it's serious but yet treatable. So the intended parents filed suit requesting that she relocate to California. And the question I wrote here is, and you're going to see a lot about baby Gabriel in the next days and weeks. Attorney General Ken Paxton is intervening and is protecting and doing everything he can to help keep baby Gabriel and mom here so that she's not forced to have an abortion. And the question is, once the baby, since it's a 100% success rate on surgery for this condition at Children's Hospital Dallas, Children's Medical Center of Dallas, will this California couple, will they want to kill the baby after she has it? Or will they want to kill the kid, or will they, you know what I mean? What will they do when the baby's born? Will they still want to kill it? I had trouble reading my notes there for a second, but that's my thing. Once she has the baby, and pray that she does, will they still want to kill it? Will they want the kid? Will they even want the kid, since they said we want to kill it? And assuming this procedure, which is 100% effective, happens, then will they still want to kill the child? That's my question. I'm not really being facetious. I mean, at what point do you say, oh, the kid's fine now? Oh, I guess we won't kill it. The Dallas Morning News today has a story, not a story, but the Dallas Morning News editorial board wrote a column today, an opinion piece. Quote, targeting Muslims in Texas is undemocratic. And there's a couple lines I highlighted from this article. Quote, they're talking about people calling the, quote, Islamification of Texas. And they say we're less than 2% are Muslim. They say that Texas Senator Bob Hall, a Republican, said that stopping Sharia law could be the state's top priority, should be the state's top priority, And they say, really? Quote, still, some officials and candidates are using the term Sharia law to insist that Muslims are imposing religious practices as a replacement for civil law in their communities. If that's true, the Dallas Morning News says, show the evidence. Okay. Here it is. Sharia law being enforced in Houston in September 2025. So what is that? August, September, October. Well, 11 months ago. Here we go. Sharia law being enforced openly in the streets of Houston.
This is the beginning of the campaign. We're serving notice to America and the world that it's time. Enough is enough. The Muslims, the people who call themselves Muslims, should not be selling haram in their stores. The pork, alcohol, and the gambling, it needs to stop. And this is a sample of the signs that we'll be using to demonstrate as we launch this demonstration on, is that we are giving dawah. We are giving dawah to the people, and the more dawah that we give, the more people accept Islam. And the more people accept Islam, the less demand there will be for stores just like this that don't have any rules, no limitations of what they sell. So we're
let me pause it real fast. He says it's haram or haram. Haram is an Arabic term meaning sinful or prohibited. So here he is enforcing Sharia law, no pork, no alcohol, no gambling. Oh, we're going to boycott and try to shut down your convenience stores. This is out in Houston. This is an imam. And so Dallas Morning News is asking for proof. Here it is. Imam F. Qasim Ibn Ali Khan is who this guy is.
Just beware, everybody. We're coming after you. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah.
Yes, assalamu. Beware, Muslims and kuffars, non-Muslim. We're coming after you. We're enforcing Sharia law. I'm not making. I mean, here. Let's continue on. There you go. Fifth notice of selling sinful and prohibited Islamic items at local convenience stores. Here we go.
Assalamu alaikum. Brother Mu'min, I remember, I told you I was going to come back and see. I was so happy to see Muslim. I'm always glad to see a Muslim, especially one with a beautiful name, Mu'min. SubhanAllah, a believer. What I wanted the information that I have for you is that this is the United States of America, and here the law protects people no matter what they want to do, honestly. Okay. However, as Muslims, we have an obligation to uphold the deen of Islam and do everything correctly according to the deen. And we don't get desperate to try to do anything haram, right? Okay, this store that you manage here, and by you being Muslim, it has haram products here. It has pork, alcohol, and gambling, which is against Islam.
So he is enforcing Sharia law, and this is not just one place. They went to several places all over his area there. Quote, a group of Muslims from Texas Scorecard is in Houston is calling for Muslim-owned businesses to stop selling haram products forbidden under Islamic law. Imam F. Qasim Ibn Ali Khan, who you're watching, has been marching through neighborhoods urging store owners to comply with parts of Sharia law, specifically stop selling pork, alcohol, and lottery tickets. Ted Cruz was outraged. He said Sharia law has no force in America. This religious harassment is outrageous. It likely violates multiple federal and state laws. Governor Greg Abbott said, I signed laws that ban Sharia law and Sharia compounds in Texas. No business and individual should fear fools like this. In person or anyone attempts to impose Sharia compliance, report to local law enforcement or to the Texas Department of Public Safety. So Dallas Morning News, you said, Dallas Morning News in your column, quote, if it's true that Sharia law is happening in Texas, show the evidence. Let's watch a little bit more, shall we?
Okay. Now, I don't have a right to stop you, but I just want to let you know that as a Muslim, I'm obligated to teach the people in the neighborhood correctly, because we give a lot of dawah, and many people around here are attracted to Islam. So what we're doing is I'm letting you know that unless whoever the owner is, I know you're only the manager, that towards the end of this month, we're kicking off a national protesting and demonstration campaign against all Muslim businesses that have haram in their stores, the pork, alcohol, and gambling.
You will be attacked, not physically, but you will be attacked and shut down and boycotted if you don't obey Sharia law. There's a little bit more. We'll watch it. I don't mean to bore you with too much, but this is obvious evidence that Sharia law is being enforced in Houston.
Okay, that'll that gives them at least to the end of this month to change their inventory or either move to a different neighborhood. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, we're here now at Jack's Food Store, right here in the neighborhood here. Neighborhood that is part of the Masjid Dawah neighborhood. In fact, I live and work in this area.
So part of the masjid, part of their mosque area.
Out in front of the store, we just gave the owner and manager a notice. This is our 5th notice. This is a sample of the signs that we're going to be using when we kick off our campaign against the haram merchants in this neighborhood on July the 4th, inshallah. So we are requesting and we're inviting all the Islamic organizations. We're inviting all the Islamic organizations to join in this campaign.
There you go. Shut them all down. Sharia law. There you go, Dallas Morning News. I assume you can read and hear. WNBA asks, what is a W? This is a great column from Bill McGurn from the Wall Street Journal. I'll share some highlights. But first, let's go to the, we've all seen this, but the clothesline that this Dejanay Carrington did. And then after doing this clothesline saying, white privilege.
Face coming down, trying to prevent the layup, but that is just a hard hit. That's definitely going to be upgraded, I think, to a flagrant 2, Ryan.
I think that is going to be a flagrant 2. There is...
Okay, so we've all seen that. And then she said white privilege. Let me go back to that. You can just see her tweet right there, white privilege. So what's white privilege about that? Her assaulting the white lady? What's her name? Sophie Cunningham? Is it white privilege that she assaulted her? Is it white privilege that the black girl Dejanay Carrington was given a foul and kicked out? And that's the funny thing, when she was confronted about what do you mean by white privilege, she said this. I never once claimed the assignment of the foul was white privilege. Try exercising your critical thinking skills. I know you studied psych. So, okay, so then what was the white privilege? Is her existence white privilege? Is the fact that she's whooping your ass on the court? They beat the Chicago Sky, who this Dejanay Carter is with. Carrington, I'm sorry, was with. They beat Cunningham's team. Beat her. The Fever beat the Sky by 4 points on Saturday. Not that anybody cares, because it's not basketball anymore, is what William McGurden's column really talks about. Anyway, she says, I'm the last thing from ignorant or asinine when it comes to speaking on white privilege. Okay, so then what do you mean, lady? She says, do ya research on that one. I actually went to school, one of the top universities, might I add. When you have to tell us you went to a top university, you've lost the argument, and you are not acting like somebody who went to a top university. You have to tell us this, because you are weak. She says, went to a top university to educate myself on this exact subject. She studied African women's studies or something like that. So she knows it all. She is just so much smarter than us. I would never use the term as a rhetorical weapon, knowing the historical and social weight it holds. Okay, so then what does it mean, you idiot? And she tweeted that from the locker room right after she got kicked out. Okay, so let me share a little bit of Bill McGurn's column. Oh, by the way, speaking of the WNBA, look at this. This is a new person that's declared for the draft. And I'm married. I'm married, but she's pretty hot. This woman just declared she is running for WNBA draft.
I am woman, I am fearless, I am sexy, I'm divine, I'm unbeatable, I'm creative, honey, you can get in line, I am feminine.
She's gorgeous. I mean, she is absolutely, that's girl power right there. Bill McGurn's column says Dejanay Carrington, Chicago Sky, Indiana Fever, Sophie Cunningham, white privilege, blah, blah, blah. The activists will be happy enough if they can simply ruin the game for those fighting to keep women's sports for women. That's exactly right. Because the whole WNBA, the whole league, the whole thing is run by and occupied by mostly Marxist, leftists, America haters, and BLM warriors, and militant lesbians. So Miss Cunningham is a target. Her offense is recognizing the truth that differences between men and women are real and substantive. Amen on that. I mean, it's just and it's Cancer Freedom. That's the hottie I was just showing you. Look, I am woman. And it's Cancer Freedom, who loves America, changed his name to Freedom, his last name to Freedom. And also Royce White have just announced they will enter the WNBA draft. Look at how pretty she is. Oh, she's gorgeous. All right, enough on that. In just a moment, I'm going to get to the latest that the socialist Abdul Rahman Mohammed El Sayed has been caught saying and things he's deleted today. I've got the audio, the video for you. Also, the nutbag from Wisconsin who is going to get the nod for governor. I'll check real fast to see if she officially won tonight. I think everybody will be shocked if she doesn't win. Nothing yet on her. Okay. All right. But we're going to get to that coming up next. And then also sex trafficking in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shake Shack. If you don't tip, you might get charged extra when you buy at the kiosk. You watch. I'll show you the video. I know it's surprising, but it really happened. But first, the show is brought to you by IRSprob.com, IRSprob.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategy. Randy's been my CPA for over 10 years. Here he is, Randy and his team, George and Ray and me. And here we are 10 years later, going strong, working together. Randy's speaking at his alma mater, UT Austin, the best school for accountancy in the state. That's where he got his CPA degree in education from. He loves speaking to the kids that are in the same position he was in back in the day. If you maybe you lost a loved one and there's tax issues, maybe you have a small business with tax issues or just have a small business, maybe you want good tax planners. If you want a good tax planner, there's another thing you can do. Is go to IRSprob.com. Helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. Call 214-214-3000. How easy is that to remember? 214-214-3000. Or go to IRSprob.com and tell them Chris Crock sent you. Let's go to my house. Look at this. You know what that is right there? That is a snake. There's a snake in the line. Why? There's a clog. Yes. Jim told me, by the way, I was trying to snake the line. I have one of those Home Depot things that goes 50 feet. I tried to do it through my sink, and he's like, dude, you probably just curled it up under the garbage disposal. The most embarrassing thing Jim's ever told me in my life. They unclogged it. Here they are on the same visit. This is just like a week or two ago. They're replacing the T&P valve. Temperature and pressure valve on top of my water heater. They put that water heater in 8 years ago. It's a fantastic one. Just the temperature and pressure valve goes bad sometimes. I've had no one at my house for plumbing or foundation but Due West Foundation and Plumbing, the company owned by Jim Dutton, the host of Texas Home Improvement on radio in Dallas-Fort Worth and television, and also in Houston and Austin. Jim's his father started the business in the 70s. His sons, Adam and Johan, have worked with the business for like 10, 15 years. They're both college guys and incredibly knowledgeable, and they're friends. My wife worked there for 3 years. That's how good they are. So if you want the best, call Due West for foundation and plumbing. They also do concrete leveling and retention walls, grading, root shields around the house to keep those roots from underneath your house. That's why my pipes still have not gone bad yet, and it's like 12 years past due. Excuse me, for when they should go. Everybody in my whole neighborhood has all their pipes replaced from their slab foundations. I have not. It'll happen 6 months, 2 months, a year, 5 years from now, but it's longer and later because I followed Jim's instruction, okay? Go to du-west.com. That's du-west.com. Or call 972-406-0912. That's 972-406-0912. And you tell Due West Foundation of Plumbing that Chris Crock sent you. All right. Abdul His full name is Abdul Rahman Mohammed El Sayed. And I tweeted this out. I tweeted out that's a long name, and he will also lose to Mike Rogers. He will, the Republican candidate. There's no way he's going to win, especially with everything that's coming out today. I mean, this is just the beginning of this guy's end. Being an Islamist, being a terrorist sympathizer and supporter, saying that the terrorists that tried to kill 140 little Jewish children at the temple in, if you recall, what was it called? Dearborn Township. West Dearborn Township or something like that. West Bloomfield Township, something like that. Bloomfield Township, a Detroit suburb. He drove into that temple and tried to murder 140 Jewish children. His van got stuck in the hallway. He had gasoline and fireworks, and he had an AR-15 type of a rifle, and he was going to go and murder all those children. His van got stuck in the hallway, so he couldn't get out either side. He was being shot at by temple security, and then he burned alive in the car. And Abdul Rahman El Sayed, hold on, let me make sure I get his name right. Abdul Rahman Mohammed El Sayed said that, you know what, hurting people hurt people. Hey, his brother, the Lebanese American terrorist that tried to kill those Jewish children in the terror attack in West Bloomfield Township, Michigan. His brother was a Hezbollah terrorist and was just killed because he was attacking Israel as a terrorist, and Israel killed him. So you can understand why this guy in Michigan tried to kill 140 Jewish children. He said hurting people hurt people. That's exactly what he said about it. So he understands trying to murder Jewish children, 140 of them. He understands it. Let's go to what he said lately that he deleted or hid or took off his social media feed that came out today. It's quite remarkable. Here he is attacking football in a state where you got the Spartans. What is that? Michigan State. You got Michigan, the Wolverines. You got the what do you call it? The Detroit Lions.
Football is very much associated with a particularly masculine and oftentimes toxically masculine culture, and so much of it was about you wanted to be able to get back up and play for your team, and you really aren't allowed to show pain or vulnerability. That's part of the sport.
Yeah, and also this.
I wanted to think a bit more about why in 2023 we continue to watch football. What is it about this brutal sport that keeps us coming back? Is there a version of football that's actually ethical, safe? What would need to change? Just a note, this is a subject that inspires a lot of contradictory feelings, and we don't really get to a single, neat, and tidy answer. But the conversation helped me frame my own feelings about the sport. I hope, going into Super Bowl Sunday, they'll help you frame your perspective on it too. Because even if you're just watching the commercials, the NFL is still making $1 off you. Here's my conversation with Garrett Bush.
He also compared it to slavery, the NFL, and stuff. Let me share what CNN, of all places, their K-File reports. Quote, fireworks suck. Removed El Sayed videos urged getting rid of 4th of July tradition. Raised replacing the Second Amendment with health care as a right. He wants to take away our guns. So, quote, please find another way to celebrate the 4th of July, he said in the video, promoting, quote, reasons why fireworks suck. So there's no pride in this country. There is shame, and he wants us to feel shame about America and our country, which is why he supports terrorists and terrorism, and why he streams with a guy named Hassan Piker, which I'll show you the latest from this guy. He's a communist, admitted communist and socialist, loves Mao Zedong, who killed 40 to 80 million of his own people, starved most of them, and shot and killed executed most of them as well, and he loves them. Here he is in his multi-million dollar house with his multi-million dollar millions. In fact, before I play this for you, I'm going to read this from Wall Street Apes. Socialist influencer Hassan Piker defends his $2.7 million home in West Hollywood. He also has estimated to have a net worth of $35 million, makes an estimated $4 million per year on our capitalist system, but pushes socialism for everybody else. He's worth $35 million, and he wants everybody else to have socialism. He makes $200 a month during his peak on subscriptions alone, $200,000 a month. Here we go.
At what point does your very expensive home stop being a basic human necessity and something that essentially reinforces the very system that you're critiquing?
I don't think the purchases that you make necessarily, if you're buying a private jet, it's a little different, but I don't think the purchases that you make, as long as you're not using it to engage in capital accumulation, imply, something less ethical than whatever purchase you're making in general. I have a house. The reason why it's so expensive is because it's in West Hollywood.
That's so funny. So, if it wouldn't be expensive, he didn't live in West Hollywood.
This guy is pushing socialism, but at the same time is buying multi-million-dollar homes. And his exact words are, "It's okay if I do it as long as you don't do capital accumulation." Well, capital accumulation means that you have a very large net worth. Let's just see how much he's worth. If we look at his net worth, we're looking at around an estimate of $20 to $35 million.
Yeah, I already shared that with you. Anyways, there you go. So, excellent stuff. Al Sayed also says, quote, again, Abdul Rahman Mohammed Al Sayed also says, the candidate for Senate in Michigan, according to CNN, he deleted social media posts supporting the defund the police movement. He was against the southern border, floated replacing the Second Amendment's right to bear arms with a constitutional right to health care. So he wants to disarm us and to be ashamed of our country. What's the next step after that? Communism, socialism, government's in control. We can't fight back against our government. Mexico, my Mexican-American friend, Javier from church, told me about how they made them surrender their guns in, I think he said the 80s. Now they can't fight against the narcos, the government, or nothing, the corrupt government, or nothing. And it goes on and on and on. Look at Venezuela. We know how that works. Look at China. Look at North Korea. Look at Iran. One of the episodes that still is online, CNN says, Abdul Rahman Al Sayed said, Mohammed Al Sayed said he questioned whether football could be ethical or safe. I played that for you. His campaign says Abdul is the former captain of his high school team, blah, 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 blah. The cherry-picked comments from his podcast. These comments are completely unacceptable to the vast majority of our country. Cherry-picked or not doesn't even matter. CNN did it. So CNN reviewed transcripts archived before the videos were made private. It was sponsored. One of his podcasts was sponsored in part by Marguerite Casey Foundation, cutting edge areas of scholarship, including feminist prison abolition. So he was doing ads for people that are pushing feminist prison abolition. Also, he took down an podcast where he was passionately urging viewers to vote for Kamala Harris. And in 2020, he said, we do need to defund the police, according to CNN. There you go. That's the guy who thinks he's going to win. He's not going to win Michigan. There's no question. Remember, Michigan and Wisconsin, which I'm going to get to right now, are swing states. I had the privilege and joy of working in Madison, Wisconsin for almost 3 years. My son was born there. My wife and I bought our first house. And then we also worked prior to that in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, way the heck up in the northwest woods of Wisconsin. I mean, it's colder than all get out. But Wisconsin, as you know, went for Trump twice. So this is a swing state. And I love that this communist, Marxist, socialist woman, Hong, is going to win the primary for the Democrats and then lose in the general election. There's just no question. It's been a long while since Wisconsin has had a Republican governor, way too long. Famed Tommy Thompson back in the day, I remember that. Scott Walker, I don't know if he was the governor at the time. No, before him there was another, actually a Republican governor. I can't remember. I got his face in my head, but I can't remember his name. Anyways, this communist lady from Wisconsin, Hong is her last name. She said, "I want this country to stop being an abundance of suffering, but a wealth of opportunity. So this country is an abundance of suffering. Quote, we can do this by providing equal rights to black and brown folks. We already have equal rights for black and brown folks. And if there's discrimination, you can go after them. Elect more black and brown folks who won't be racist obstructionist." She does have, from what I read and seen reportedly, that she has like psychological issues. She's had treatment. Francesca Hong. Cancel Thanksgiving. We should have done this in 1621. It's comical. I can't believe she said that. Now, she's Korean American. That's where I want to hone in on. Because I want to tell you a story. My friend told me this, and he has really emphasized in our adult years how serious he is. He came here from Korea like she did. and he didn't speak any English. He was 13. I befriended him in high school, and we became fast friends. Very good friends, inseparable. And eventually we went our separate ways. We've connected years later. He started, his parents worked their asses off. Mom worked as a Pizza Hut waitress. Dad worked at a restaurant somewhere. Eventually they saved up their money, lived in a very modest house. They saved up their money, and they they opened a restaurant, a sushi restaurant, in a strip mall. They allowed him overnight to use the facilities to make his own sushi to sell, which he did. He, over the years, has risen to tremendous success. He and his partner, which went to we're all from the same high school, same year. He and his partner in business, they own a warehouse. They sell sushi at the Sox games, White Sox, even though the White Sox suck. They sell sushi at Navy Pier. They sell sushi at the United Center where the Blackhawks and Bulls play, and much more. He does not hate this country. He's not ashamed of this country. He celebrates Thanksgiving. He is a red-blooded American who's made success as a capitalist. That's the difference between her from Korea and him from Korea. Speaking of which, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, her parents are dad's from Korea, born and raised in Korea. Mom is born here, but her parents are from Korea. So, and they are not socialist communists either. She also said this: I ate 2 bites of my kid's cheeseburger at a Culver's, which is I think we have some Culver's even here, at a Culver's in Black River Falls, fast food place, and told him, okay, I ate 2 bites of my kid's cheeseburger at Culver's in Black River Falls, told them they ran out of ice cream. Mostly just wanted to leave because I was on the verge of anxiety attack. Too many old white people who didn't think we spoke English. How would you know these old white people didn't think you spoke English? Did they come up to you and say, speak the English? What are you, stupid? It's a lie. It's all in her head. Mental illness. Coming up next, oh, you have to see this. Shake Shack. Shake Shack. There's a couple, and they're at a Shake Shack, and it says, do you want a tip? They say no. And then they watch their total go up after they said no tip. Not kidding. You'll see the video yourself. I'm not making it up. But first, I am so overjoyed. I talked to my friend who owns Blue Ribbon Roofing right here, blueribbondfw.com. John Hopkins. We were talking on the phone again. We've talked a lot on the phone. Anyways, John's one of my sponsors, and he just blew up my house, and it looks so amazing. The roof, Class 4 shingles. Class 4 shingles saved me 11% off my insurance policy. Get Class 4 shingles, and when you call Blue Ribbon Roofing, say, I want the Class 4 shingles. Tell me about them. Okay? Number 2, look at how, this is my roof before. Okay?
I got it pinned on.
There's John on my roof. See that? Here's my new roof now. Look at it. It's black. Look at how incredible this looks. Ready? Look some more pictures. Boom. Boom. Look at how nice that is. Look at that. Oh, and they replaced my whole deck. The previous roofer didn't replace the decking. He either didn't know or didn't care that code says my roof has to be thick to a certain thickness, and it's not. So I got decking also included in my whole roofing package. All right, let me show you the home improvements they did, because it's unbelievable. They stained and installed a brand new wood door. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? They made whole cloth out from nothing. They made from scratch these shutters. Look at how beautiful they are. I got copper gutters. Where are my copper gutters? They should be in here somewhere. If I don't, I'll have to show them to you. I apologize. I don't think I have them. My house is gorgeous. I mean, the work that they do at Blue Ribbon Roofing is incredible. So go to Blue Ribbon, and here they are winning Best of McKinney year after year. Go to blueribbondfw.com. That's blueribbondfw.com, and tell them Chris Crock sent you to blueribbondfw.com. Trust me, they are the absolute best. I know, because they're still finishing up. Tomorrow's the last thing they got. They're going to replace my screens, all my screens tomorrow from damage. Did you know we have sex trafficking in DFW? Do you know that we're one of the worst states? Do you know that DFW is a major hub for sex trafficking? Do you know that goes on right next door to your house and you don't even know it? I'm not kidding. There's a couple featured in there's a video I watched, a lengthy one, from the Attorney General of the state of Texas and his office, and it shows a Walmart trucker. He's been trained on what to look for sex trafficking at the truck stops. It's everywhere. There's a rural woman who saw a lady in her trailer park community run out in rural Texas, run out screaming, and she helped her and called the police. She was being sex trafficked. She escaped. There is the Woodlands. The houses in the Woodlands are $700,000-800,000 and above. And there's a family that a guy said him and his wife were talking, and they said we couldn't believe it. 44 cars coming in, going. Some of them were Mercedes-Benz, some of them were beaters. We called the sheriff's office, and they found out, yes, they are sex traffickers, and they own that house, and they own another house in Houston and another house in New York City. They're foreign sex trafficking organization. It's everywhere. And now we have this, an adult bookstore and novelty store in Dallas, Paris adult bookstore, busted for 6 men and 2 women for 8 indictments for sex trafficking minors and adults in this place, an illicit brothel and sex trafficking. The joint operation was done it was called Midnight in Paris because it was the Paris adult bookstore. Can you imagine patronizing one of these places and not knowing there's people being sex trafficked out of there against their will? Minors. Make you think twice about going to these places. The sting was conducted by Dallas Police, the Texas IRS Criminal Investigation Office, and Homeland Security officials. So now I want to tell you, that's why I want you to donate for North Texas Giving Day, and you can donate early right now to Thrive Counseling Services. Thrive Counseling Services, I work with them, and I'm a big supporter. I donate regularly to them monthly. And this is their logo, Thrive Counseling Services. And here's how you can, that's a link right there if you want to go to Thrive Counseling Services, North Texas Giving Day page. And you can donate right now, and I urge you to. They provide counseling, okay? Licensed professional counseling, Christian. It's a ministry. Licensed professional Christian counseling to women coming out of sex trafficking. They work with multiple Christian, Christ-centered safe houses. Safe houses. Could you imagine having to hide out in a safe house? Alive at Last, Refuge City, the Poema Foundation, Exodus Ministries. And they've provided over 5,000 hours of free counseling to women coming out of sex trafficking. They're teaching them it's not your fault that you were sex trafficked. They're teaching them to be willing to ask and get the courage to ask a judge for a second chance, maybe at getting their kids back. You are freeing women from chains, and I'm serious, mental chains. Donate now. Go to Thrive Counseling Services right here. Now I'm going to give you a QR code, so if that's easier for you to just scan the QR code, you can do that, all right? And there's the QR code if you want to scan that. That'll take you right to Thrive Counseling Services North Texas Giving Day page. You can donate right now. You don't have to wait for North Texas Giving Day, okay? It's just amazing what they do. It's a Christ-centered ministry, and there you go, okay? Donate right now. Help these women recover with godly professional counseling. Shake Shack. I want to show you the video from Shake Shack. You have to see this, okay? Because this guy people don't believe it until they see the video. I was like, there's no way this is possible. They go to Shake Shack. It asks if you want to tip. What the hell am I going to tip somebody for? My wife, we'll talk about this. I don't tip people when I go pick up something. What am I going to tip somebody for picking up something? I'm tipping somebody for going 5 feet and picking up a box or whatever and handing it to me. I'm not tipping you. And if you don't tip at this Shake Shack location, it jacks up your costs. And if you don't believe me, watch the video.
My wife says that if you don't tip at Shake Shack, they make it more expensive per item, so we're about to find out.
I know. Order 2 shakes just like before.
See, $5.99.
Okay.
We got strawberry. We got cookies and cream.
Yeah, let's see.
And we got vanilla
This is what we
with
just ordered.
card.
Okay, there
Okay,
it is.
see that? Let's say check out. And then say, no. Right here, no.
Uh-oh, there's been a pricing update on one of your card items. Please review.
Everything jumped.
Everything just went up 50 cents. Every item went up by 50 cents.
That's a real video. Every single item, 3 shakes, went up by 50 cents when you said no to tipping. Shake Shack has disavowed this and said, we ain't doing this. This is a franchise location. Quote, it's not Shake Shack policy, nor that of our licensees to increase the price of menu items when no tip is added. And this was at a Salt Lake City airport, the Salt Lake City airport. The company that owns it, investigated or owns a franchise, says that we determined it was an error within our kiosk technology that they have informed us has been since resolved. Right. Man, this is where you lose a franchise license as far as I'm concerned. I'd shut these freaking freaks down, man. Shut it down. I don't think that was an accident. It's hot. What about your tires? I have a little something on that for you here in just a second. Also, flock cameras and data centers. I know a lot of people are hot on that. Let's start with tires. From the Dallas Morning News, how to read your tires, warning signs, tire pressure, when to replace them. I'm not going to bore you. Just some highlights that I highlighted from the story. Your warning light. Talk about your warning light goes on for your, you got to fill up your tires. My warning lights have been off. I have a 2014 and I have a 2017. And I'm driving them until they fall apart, man. They're paid off. My 2014's lights, the tire pressure light, has been not working for years. And I refuse to have to replace them all because it'd be like $140 per tire. That's like $480, I don't know, $500 to have a tire pressure sensor. No, I just have it regularly checked or whatever. So that's what I do. If the other one, the warning light works fine. The tire warning light works fine. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm rolling. When should I rotate my tires? Very easy. Every time we do your oil change, always use full synthetic oil. Full synthetic. My mechanic, who's the best, I've told you about him for years and years and years. He's incredible. A movie could be done about him. He's a total freaking character, and he can be a pain in the butt, but I love him. And he's a family friend. 5,000 miles, Mobil 1, full synthetic. And then you just rotate them when that happens. You got no problems. Never again. Department of Transportation for U.S. recommends replacing tires once they reach 230 seconds on the tread. They talk about the Abraham Lincoln on a penny. You turn Abraham Lincoln's head down, you put it in there, and if the Lincoln's head facing down, place a penny between the treads with Lincoln's head facing down between the grooves. If you can put a penny in the groove of the tire and see the top of the head, then it's definitely time to replace the tire. Not if you go to Discount Tire. They are always trying to rip you off. And yes, I still go there. But they're always trying to upsell you. They're always saying, we recommend or we can't replace the tire. You know what? Now that I got this Department of Transportation, here you go. Kiss my butt. Rotate my tires. I'll replace them when the Department of Transportation says at 230 seconds. What do you call it? Discount Tires tries having you do it at like 430 seconds. I swear. I can't remember the exact amount. They're always trying to upsell you. And it's highly offensive and annoying. Okay, what else? What should I do if I experience a blowout? I got one answer for you on that. And I'm quoting Trooper Lonnie Hatchell, who, as far as I know, is still the spokesperson for Texas DPS in Dallas-Fort Worth. If you have to drive on your rim, don't ever, listen to me, don't ever pull over on a highway. Ever. Drive on that rim until you get on an exit and get off the exit and on a frontage road. Don't ever pull over on the side of a highway. There is a great chance of getting killed. And I chronicle it whenever it happens. After Trooper Lonnie Hatchell told me that on my show, my radio show that I had here for 15 years, maybe 13 years ago, 14 years ago, he told me that. I'll never forget it. And sure enough, one night my tire blew out, and I rode on that rim for like a mile or two, and I'm like, it's going to be trash. And it was actually fine. It didn't have to be replaced at all. I was freaking like, wow, I was blown away. But I cannot tell you how many times, and every time I see it in the news, I tell you that I've seen somebody dead on the side of the road. Somebody wasn't paying attention, hit him and killed him. They're drunk, they hit him and killed him. They're illegal, they hit him and killed him. Or it's just, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be intoxicated. They get hit and killed all the time on the side of the road. Do not pull over on the side of the road to change your tire or for anything. And Trooper Haschel told me too, he said, if you have to pull over because like the engine died or something, park it on the side of the highway, and then if there's a median, a concrete median, go on the other side of the concrete median so you don't get hit and killed. At the very least, stay in your car if you want to live. Okay. Lago Vista, I don't even know where it is in Texas. Oh, I'll look it up real fast. Where's Lago Vista, Texas? I always like looking this up because it's like, where the heck is that? And we're in a huge state, obviously. A great state if you live in Texas. Lago Vista, a lot of rivers and lakes. Was it the Colorado River? I don't even know. Lago Vista is by... Man, this is slow. That's crazy, yo. Lago Vista. Lago Vista. Lago Vista. Something's wrong with my laptop or my desktop. I can't tell exactly where it is. Lake Travis. Okay, so it's in Austin area. Lago Vista City Council votes to remove flock license plate readers. They voted unanimously to remove all flock license plate readers. It's very, very alarming, concerning to be thinking. One citizen said, I'm just going to go about my normal chores, my normal Sunday or Monday routine, but those license plate readers might be picking up what doctor's office you go to, who your romantic partner is, if there's a camera by a restaurant and you're going on a date, what church you decide to go to. Well, sir, people can follow you and record you on their phone if they want to. Number 2, Lago Vista has one of the lowest crime rates in Texas, making flock cameras an unnecessary tool in its arsenal. The one time some kid gets abducted, you're going to wish to God you had flock cameras. Number 2, they say in a worst-case scenario, if something did occur and somebody left the boundaries of Lago Vista, we do believe that our neighbors would pick them up as well, but it doesn't mean it's an easier decision. Oh, so you're going to rely on your neighbors with flock cameras to save your butt. Let me tell you something, because somebody attacked me for it. No, it's fine, too. They were ribbing me for it, not attacking me, on my Twitter feed today. And it goes both ways. I feel in Chicago regularly. I was on in Chicago last Monday. I'm going to be on in Chicago this Friday here in a few days. I'm going to be on Chicago Tuesday next week. I'm going to be on Buffalo, too, on Friday, and Indianapolis for 3 days next week, and possibly Phoenix on Wednesday. I'm all over the place. But my point is this. In Chicago the other day, there was a flock camera that caught an alleged Illinois state trooper as a rapist. He's been charged with raping a woman, and the way they got him was on a flock camera. So even law enforcement officials that are allegedly doing vile things are busted. So, Keller, meanwhile, on data centers, Keller City Council calls special meeting for comments on Westlake Data Center because they're freaking out. It's in Westlake, but it's going to be 560 some odd feet from a neighborhood in Keller. They're holding a special meeting tomorrow, Wednesday night. Mayor Ross McMullen said that Keller residents can share their concerns and frustrations. Let me give you a hint. Nothing's going to come out of your frustrations. Nothing's going to come out of your meeting. You can't stop another city. Quote, the city council will also meet in an executive session to consult with legal counsel regarding the Westlake project's approval process and procedures. One of these residents asked why the data center wasn't closer to Westlake. We're not asking you to kill it. We're just asking you to move it. Good luck with that. Not going to happen. 1.1 million square foot data center sitting on 88 acres, including 4 buildings. Now, the company has agreed to make a landscaped berm, 75-foot landscape buffer along the southern property line, mature vegetation planted throughout the berm, an increased building setback beyond what is required under the plan development standards to further improve buffering. Here's the thing. Data centers do not use more water than a golf course. Data centers do not use more water than an average, similar-sized industrial, or even the office complex. Literally, industrial and similarly sized industrial and office complex type place or buildings use just as much water. And then almond farmers are the number one thing. In California, almond farmers alone are the number one source of water draining in the country. Golf courses as well, obviously. So, I think the big deal is noise and sight pollution, if you will, being too close. Sight, they're all building them now to look good and nice, like an office building, where you'd have 200 people working, 300 people working in a small office building or something like that. And then there are also most of the new ones now don't use water. They're like one of the ones that just is brand new here in the area they're talking about is going to be 85% no water. 85% year round of the year will be no water use. Only 15% of the entire year is going to be using water. So they have a lot more different cooling systems now that don't use water, closed loop cooling systems or something. And the noise too is a big deal, and that I don't disagree with that. But they're fixing the noise thing, and they're fixing the sight thing. So, and the water thing and electricity. You can't be taxing the grid. You have to make your own electricity or be neutral on the grid. That's a non-negotiable. I agree with you on that. But otherwise, stop panicking. I want to tell you about a great place if you're single. I want to tell you about a great place if, do you know the burden of being single? I don't. There's a burden of being single for some people. Are you feeling fulfilled if you're single? Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe you are just a single person, and that's how it is. Are you feeling loved by God? Are you feeling supported in your life as a single person? Do you have friends, or are you kind of alone? If you want to form new connections among like-minded Christian people, then you need to go to Resonate. I want to say Resignate. No, it's Resonate. Singles Bible Study at Prestonwood Church. It's for ages 30 plus. I'm going to show you some pictures. They have a lot of fun with Resonate. First of all, here's the info I'm going to tell you right now so that you can look it up on your own and check them out. Here they are doing a roller skate night. Here they are at a free play night, which is like a video game and dinner place. And here's the large group of folks at the Bible studies they have. Resonate Singles Bible Study at Prestonwood Church. And then here's how they greet you. Look at this. They give you a big hug. They're really sweet. They're awesome. A lot of fun. All right. And so I'm going to read a little bit more for you on this. I'm also going to put up a QR code so that you can just scan the QR code and check it out yourself. Resonate Singles Bible Study at Prestonwood Church, ages 30s plus, Wednesdays at 6:30. Prestonwood Christian Academy Building, the Horner Room. Just go to Prestonwood Church on Wednesdays at 6:30 and ask where it is. The Resonate Singles Bible Study. It's just on fire. There's a lot of great stuff going on with it. And here, you can scan that QR code to check it out. But they do a lot of stuff. It's a vibrant community of Christian singles at Prestonwood Baptist Church in Plano. Meaningful connections and spiritual growth await. People have such a great time at this. They are paying me to tell you about them. That's how big of a deal this is. And I'm going to pop up that address so you can check it out yourself now and look it up that way. You can just go to Facebook and type in Resonate Singles, Prestonwood Church at Plano. They study the Bible. They volunteer together. They go to events together. Warm fellowship before, during, and after. They go out afterwards to have dinner with friends and fellow classmates at Jimmy John's, Chili's, Snuffers, Free Plays, and Fuzzies. They go to car shows. They learn how to dance East Coast swing. Powerful worship, biblical teaching, authentic community. Have a great time. Go right there to Resonate Singles. You can see it on your screen. Prestonwood Church. Okay? Just go to Facebook and type that in. You'll find them right away. All right, y'all. Let's check this out. Mark Davis, my friend, who I'll be filling in for. I fill in for Mark a lot. And I'll be filling in again. I booked like almost a full week in the next couple of weeks. It's on my calendar. Mark Davis here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Friend of mine. Longtime friend. He writes a column why there's no panic about Telrico leading by 2 points. He says an Ipsos poll released in mid-September showed Beto up. So literally almost this exact time, 4 weeks from now, Beto was up by 2 points. Tellerico is benefiting from the same bicoastal leftist donors as Beto. He's exactly right. Paxton will serve sizable spending for the sizable spending for the final weeks, like the last 2-3 months. It enabled him to dominate the incumbent by nearly 30 points over Cornyn, despite being massively outspent. He defeated Cornyn. See that? Beto was a much better candidate, says Mark Davis, and he's right. There wasn't this massive history of 5 genders, God's non-binary, all this crazy, insane stuff, no meat, anti-fossil fuels, children's gay and pornographic books in your church library, hiding illegals in your church library, all this radical stuff. Trump swamped Kamala Harris, Davis says, by 14 points just 2 years ago. A majority of Texas voters turning against Trump's endorsement of Paxton, it seems quite the stretch, he says. In that year's Senate race with Beto versus Cruz, Cruz dispatched Colin Allred. I'm sorry, he talked about the same year that Trump beat Kamala by 14. Cruz dispatched Colin Allred by more than 8 points. It's not going to happen. I'm not worried. I know that you want me to be worried. I'm not. I'm just not, and I'm not going to be. UT Dallas, where my son graduated from in December with high honors. And fluent in Japanese. Remember the pro-Hamas protesters illegally protesting and saying vile things, harassing Jewish students on campus? Well, Dr. Rosemary Admiral is a professor of history. She was arrested in 2024 for trying to block law enforcement officers' efforts to clear a tent encampment created by pro-Hamas agitators during the anti-Israel protest, quote-unquote, at UT Dallas. I love what we did there. State troopers, Richardson Police and Collin County, I believe, sheriff's deputies threw those bastards out. They overturned, like Jesus did, they overturned their tables and all their BS stuff, shirts and paraphernalia and propaganda that was illegally set up there. No, they didn't have permission to do this. She and UT Dallas colleagues spent the night in jail, were charged with misdemeanor criminal trespass. They were ultimately dropped. She's now up for tenure. Hell no. Hell no, is what I say. This show has been brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSPROB.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning.